note when made that the posting has been at our 4 buildings and also on our website. And that all 5 board members are in attendance. Okay, consent agendas. Review board minutes and executive session minutes from January 20th, and special board meeting minutes from January 28th, February 9th, and February 18th. Any comments? Okay. All righty. Dan, anything? Then we'll review January treasurer's report. Come on.
As of January 31st, our Associated Bank account balance was $8,585,846.79. And at this point in the school year, we are 39% through our budget.
Any questions for Dawn? And we will move on to confirm March committee meetings and the school board.
March 9th for committees.
Okay.
And then my request would be for March 16th for the monthly board meeting. A couple of us are presenting March 23rd, the evening of March 23rd, so we wouldn't necessarily be available unless you wanted to move the meeting to Tuesday night.
Anyone have any problems with those meeting dates?
9th and the 16th.
That'd be fine.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, honor a Fox River student for an achievement in art.
Come on up, Aubrey. This is Aubrey Torhurst, and Mrs. Bergman, our teacher, submitted a wide variety of students' artwork to the Scholastic Art Contest we did last year, also had a winner. And Aubrey took an honorable mention at the state level, which is very, very difficult out of middle school. And I'm going to have her hold her painting right here. She'll talk about it in a minute. But the bottom, it was a painting for an art project with expressions. And they had to either inspire or they had to connect to others. So Aubrey will tell you which one of those 2 areas she painted about right here.
I chose to inspire because I want to let people know that you are the one that make yourself. You don't let anybody else, because you're the one who's going to be with you for your whole life, not anybody else, most likely. So I decided that to make your own happiness in life and make your own choices.
And she titled it "Make Your Own Smile." So why don't you finish?
Very nice.
And Mrs. Bergman will be doing an art show at the end of the year with some very gifted artists that we have. You'll all be invited to it, but we have about 4 very gifted students in the building, Aubrey being one of them, and so we'll let you know when that invite is. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Good job.
All right, next we go to informational items. Administrator's report. Chris.
Thank you, Mr. Schwartz. First off, I'd like to congratulate 3 students for their achievement in the district spelling bee, which took place last week. The winner, first place, was a 6th grader from Trailside, that'd be Emily Hens. Second place is Nathan Adams, a 6th grader from Woodfield. And then Matthew Rowe, a 6th grader at Evergreen, took 3rd place. Also, a special thanks to several of our staff members for helping with the process and for the judging that very night of the district-wide spelling bee. That'd be Mrs. Egger, Mr. D, and Mrs. Drex here at Evergreen, a 5th grade teacher. We also had some building coordinators, as I said, to get that whole spelling bee process going. That'd be Mrs. Krager, Ms. Curtis, and Mrs. Drex. So thanks to all those people, and especially Mrs. Meyer who coordinated the whole event. I want to say a special thanks to Nurse Jill Shealy and the music teachers for all their work with the WGSD music concert at the beginning of the month. They had record attendance this year as far as audience numbers. They had a set of extra chairs, and the extra chairs still weren't enough. So just a commendable afternoon for our music staff. Special thanks to Mrs. Underly and Ms. Kurz from Fox River. They just concluded a successful forensic season. Then I also want to thank Sarah Shepke, Doug Peterson, and Lisa Kaskengren for work that they did on a summative subcommittee presentation, which will be brought to the committee next week, or I should say in 2 weeks. But a lot of time and effort has gone into it, and they've done just a really, really nice job with that. Aside from that, I want to give first notice of some policy updates. That'd be policy 431, along with its procedures related to student attendance, with the intent of that policy on becoming active for next school year. The food allergy management policy 453.2, communicable diseases 453.3, school medication and guidelines related to that 453.4, employee conflict of interest, a new policy 522.4, an update to the gift policy for employees, which is policy 524, a new policy 525, sales and solicitations by employees, and then an update to our fund balance policy, which is policy number 664. Then I'll also get a second public notice for these policies that came before the board last month. Policy 156 is a new policy. Excuse me. It's a new policy related to a board member code of conduct, because policy 155 is suspended. We've got an update to the school detention policy 447.2, in-school suspension policy 447.31, school student immunization policy 453.5, the concussion policy 453.12, a new policy with staff related to staff conduct of 522, and the drug-free workplace policy has been updated with 522.1. The last piece of my presentation tonight is I invited Mrs. Asmussen to come in tonight just for a moment to see if there are any questions following up on the restructuring of one portion of our special education program for next school year. So she's here, and if there's any questions or clarifications, she's here to answer those questions.
I think each of you have had an opportunity to read the proposal that is set forward, and it's something that I'm not able to speak too much on tonight because it would cross over into the confidentiality piece, because the students identified their type of disability, and it would make it so that other people would be able to figure out who these students are that the programming change would be for. But overall, if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you tonight. Otherwise, what I'm looking to do is to take a next step for a proposal, and that would be gathering together parents, administrators, teachers, teaching assistants, and therapists to get feedback on what they feel might be best in the next step when we're looking for this group for next year, offering a different way of servicing them. So if that's okay with you, I'll go ahead and move forward with that and then report back.
And that was actually a good question of how it would roll out with the parent.
Right. Right. And we are having student meetings happening, obviously, at this time of year especially. And the initial feedback has been very positive by all of those people that I named earlier. So it's exciting, and I think it'd be a great opportunity for our students.
And Sandy said this was a minimal number of students?
It is. It would be a minimal number of students right now, but when we are looking to down the road at students who this would also benefit, the number is continuing to grow. So, yes.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank
When are you going to have the meetings before any next board meeting?
I can definitely try to do that. I haven't set anything up, not knowing what the feeling was from the team, but I'll definitely move forward and try to do that before the next meeting.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris, I just want to revisit 4 reading, first reading,
Yes.
cash investment fund balance. I just want to clear up some misinformation out there from a local blogger that is somehow saying that I'm changing the cash fund balance so that the money is kept away from local taxpayers. This fund balance adjustment here, I'm actually putting a cap on the fund balance to give the money back to local taxpayers. Not what the bloggers telling people, that somehow I'm changing this to keep it from taxpayers. I'm actually the one saying I'm giving the money back to the taxpayers if it exceeds 50% of what the required operational budget of the district is, correct?
That was the intent of the revision.
Okay, and before I brought this up, there was no maximum amount on the fund balance listed in our policy, but now that I brought this up, there will be. Okay, thank you.
Moving ahead, curriculum and instruction.
I just have three quick things.
I wanted to thank Courtney Labrizzi and Ann Armley and Pam Lobach, Jackie Dixon, one of our reading teachers, and Jen Ballou, our early learning teacher, preschool teacher. They got together and looked at 4 different programs for 4K, and they came to the Splash into Pre-K, which has a really, is the same reading series that we're using in the other grades, as well as has a really strong social, emotional, behavioral piece in it, so they're really excited about that. The second thing is Title I. One of the guidelines is that we have to have a Title I parent advisory every year, and so that will occur on March 10th with people, personnel, principals, and teachers and parents from Fox River and Trailside, and then also the preschool. And then we're taking turns either doing a parent event with math or with reading. So this year it will be reading, and we're going to be doing a tailgating into reading event on March 31st with Marla McKenna, who is a local author. And so that is for Title I students and their families. So they'll have a hot dog dinner and presentation that night and be able to get a couple free books. So that'll be just some exciting things coming up in March. Any questions?
Jen, do you have anything?
Well, first, I want to thank you for inviting me to the board meeting, so I appreciate that. I'd like to be included in that. Because I work in all 4 buildings, my reports will not be building specific. Rather, I'd like to give you an overview of some of the good things that are happening in the district that I'm involved with. And I'm happy to share some of the positive things occurring, and wish I could tell you all the good things happening in our district, but none of us want to be sitting here all night, so I'll just focus on a couple of the areas each month. This month, I would like to focus on my work with our new teachers that were hired this school year. As you know, I'm responsible for conducting 6 half-day workshops over the course of the year. In order to meet the needs of these teachers, I will tell you that I have divided the larger group of teachers into 3 smaller subgroups. So when I meet with them, I meet with early childhood through 5th grade, then I meet with 6, 8, and then I meet with elementary specialists. That would be like music, art, IED counselors. By splitting the larger groups into smaller subgroups, I've been able to create and conduct workshops that are differentiated to meet the unique needs of each of the different groups of teachers. While the overall topics reflect the document you received back last August, I kind of had a tentative agenda on it. I'm able to tailor the topics in order to meet the needs of each of the subgroups. I would like to thank all of our new hires from this year. They are a very reflective group. They work very hard to strengthen their practice, and they have been such a pleasure to work with this year. I also would like to thank all the building mentors who have willingly taken on the extra responsibility of helping our new hires on a day-to-day basis within their respective buildings. In recent meetings that I've had with each of the building mentors, it is apparent to me that they are doing everything they can to help support our new hires. I appreciate their dedication and work not only to the students in their own classrooms, but to the overall learning community within the buildings. I look forward to telling you more about our dedicated building mentors in a couple of months when we wrap up the school year. Any questions at all?
Thank you for your report.
Thank you.